everyone, thank you for joining us today on Glasgow 2024's Twitch stream. This is Let's Roll, a murder mystery, and today we're going to be playing Murder at the Old Wolf Inn, which is an adventure written by Midnight Tower. We'll put a link in the chat to where you can get the adventure if you want to play it yourself. But if you're going to watch this stream, you'll probably figure out who the murderer is along the way, so it might be a bit of spoilers for you. Also, if you are interested in supporting us here at Glasgow 2024, please consider purchasing a membership for our convention, the bestest convention ever that we love so much. Please come and join us. A link for the memberships will also be in the chat, so you can come and join us. Hi. I'm Alex. I'm going to be your DM for tonight on this intrepid adventure. Would everyone like to say hello around the table? Would you like to start, please?
Hello around the table. I'm Will. I'm one of the players tonight. I'm going to be playing Blick Rain, Hobgoblin Inquisitive Rogue.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rosie. I'm going to be playing Bibble, a bugbear thief rogue.
I'm Ayla. I'm playing Brill, Goblin Rogue Artificer. We have a theme.
We do.
You do have a very organised theme that I did not anticipate until you showed me the sheets like a week ago. Excellent. So we will jump right into this, though I will start with a quick couple of disclaimers. There will be some swearing during the stream as we exclaim at things, however there will not be excessive profanity throughout the stream, so you do not need to worry about that. In terms of themes and trigger warnings for this adventure, we do not have any attached to this adventure at this point in time.
Except murder.
Okay, yeah, technically there is one murder. We will be attempting to play this adventure combatively, so there should hopefully be no combat throughout this adventure. I think that was all my disclaimers, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Break,
yes. We will be taking a break at about the 2-hour mark for 5 minutes just to refresh our drinks and stretch our legs and things like that. So please wait for us until after the break and we will rejoin you then. If you have any comments or questions throughout the stream, we will look at them during the break and at the end of the stream and try and answer whatever we can if you have anything. In terms of rulings and things like that, if I get anything wrong, please don't yell at me. I'm doing my best. But I will take constructive criticism on how to handle rules if you have ideas of how to do things better than how I process them in the stressful moment. But without further ado, I think we will dive into the adventure now. So you guys have all known each other for a little while now. You're all hired to be guards for an archaeologist who you met at one of the local cities. So you are travelling with him on the road. Come on, bloody road. His name is Bjorn Amberclan. He's a dwarf, and he's on his way from the small village of Buckbridge to the northern town of Winterhold. As you're about halfway along your journey, a terrible storm floods in. Like, we're talking lightning, thunder, rain. It wasn't well anticipated on your party's part, but hey-oh, that was technically like your dwarven archaeologist friend's fault for picking to travel now. However, this storm is so bad that you will not be able to continue. Up ahead, one of you spots the lights of an inn on the crossroads, and you start eagerly heading towards it. There's torrential rains to the point where it will not be safe to stay outdoors for any length of time. So you need to get to this inn. But it is just up ahead, and mushing the horses on a little bit on your little cart, you get there in no time, and you pull into this nice back area with your cart. So before you can see the stables, a good hardy building made of stone and wood. It seems to be holding up in the weather fairly well, and you've got the main inn building here as well. Whilst, again, it's a good strong building, you can see that the winds are really picking up. the sign from the building is whipped off as you approach and disappears over one of the hills. So like the winds are picking up quite a lot. This is not a day to be outside.
The name of the thing was in the title of the adventure, right?
It's the Old Wolf Inn.
Old Wolf Inn, and is that on the sign that
It
is
was on the sign.
rattling in the wind?
Flies across the way, and you're like, ah. I'm sure somebody inside can tell you what the actual inn is called when you get there. You try and peer at the sign as it flies onto the distance, and you're like, well, it's an inn. That was the sign. But Bjorn Ammerclan jumps down off of the
Horse.
cart, that's the word, not the horse, the cart, and makes their way into the inn, gesturing you to follow quickly.
Double check that everything's lashed down in the cart. All his archaeology gear.
All his crates.
Great, clutch my hand to my head and
Yeah.
in through the door that leads to the courtyard.
Yeah, sure. So there's like, all the doors are marked on the map here, and there's a small door here. There is like the main entrance here, but because you brought the horses round back, there's a little door here.
Nice.
Everybody else in?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Out of the rain, yeah.
I don't want to go the same way as the sign.
Yeah, that's a good point. You are quite little, aren't you? I imagine
You're
that
small.
as you're like running towards the door, you're getting lifted slightly as you go. Like,
No. I'm a windbreaker.
Very good.
So Bjorn muscles the door open against the wind and ushers you all inside. Inside, it's a lot calmer. These walls were obviously built to withstand this kind of weather. This inn was made to last, and it is okay inside. You can hear the wind howling outside, but inside it's warm. It's almost cosy, with the thick walls, sturdy windows, and a roaring fireplace at one end. Inside, you can see 5 people stood by the fireplace at one end of the room, which is this fireplace here. There is also one woman stood behind the bar here. So you see the woman behind the bar is a dwarven woman, and as you walk in, she goes, "Oh, hello, travellers! In this weather, come in. I'll get your horses in a second and things like that. Welcome to the Old Wolf Inn.
That's what it was called.
Yes.
Oh,
Your sign's gone.
Very gone.
oh,
It'll be halfway back to Buckridge by now, I'm afraid.
Ah, damn it! No, another one. I need to get better ones for this.
This has happened a lot.
Every time storm comes through.
Oh dear.
Get a better sign, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of rattle, you know, but otherwise
It's the ambience.
yeah, it's the yin thing. Welcome. I'm glad you found my inn on this dreadful evening in this horrible weather. Although I'm afraid you've come at a rather unfortunate time. There's been a terrible accident.
Oh dear.
Oh, very sorry to hear it.
And you see as she's wringing her hands, and there is like a bar cloth and stuff like that she picks up and she worries and puts it down, that kind of thing. She's obviously quite distressed by this. But one of the women that was stood by the fireplace steps forwards, and you see this woman is human. She is dressed in a military garb that all of you would recognise comes from Winterhold. And she would say to you all, "There's been a death. My superior, my lieutenant, has been found dead, and I'm afraid that there has been foul play involved. In other words, a murder has been committed."
Dun, dun,
Oh, yeah.
So all of you are off the hook for being murderer. Well done.
thank God.
There you go.
Well, that's really. We'll just leave.
That's what you think.
Oh, right, okay, cool. The adventure ends. You go, right, thank you very much. We'll go to the next end. Off we go.
We'll take our chances with
We
weather,
solved it.
actually.
We'll camp in the wagon.
We look outside and it's gone.
The horses.
You'd see Bjorn would sort of be like, and then just wander off to the fireplace. He's not interested.
He's like an older fella, just kind of very detached from the world at large.
Yeah.
He only cares
Exactly.
about old dead things,
Yes.
not new dead things.
Yes. Yeah, that died yesterday.
Yeah.
Not his
Okay.
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
yeah, if it's not archaeology, he ain't talking to you. They say he's kind of drift. You see, he plops himself next to the fire and starts like emptying water out of his boots into one of the pots by there.
Excellent.
But Kara would, the guard is named Kara, would, although she hasn't introduced herself to you yet.
What's your name?
My name would be Kara.
I had a feeling.
You look like a Kara.
It's the nose, isn't it? But she would turn to you a lot and say, would you perhaps be willing to help us in this matter? You seem all very well equipped and well travelled.
It's true. We are.
We are contracted at the moment.
True, but you will not be able to go anywhere until the storm passes.
A very good point.
It does sound fun.
Yeah. If we're gonna have to say somewhere with a murderer, I'd prefer to know who the murderer was.
Yeah.
I can pay you as well.
Oh,
I like that better.
Even more interested. Tell us more.
So she'd offer a reward of 50 gold pieces each to prove that her superior, which is a Lieutenant Artemis Nahanna, Artemis spelt as is with Artemis Val, and Nahanna spelt Nahanna.
Spelling is
That's
for
not how
coward.
I wrote it. And I ran out of paper, so there's no more letters going in.
Yes, so she asks you to look into his death. She wants proof that he's been murdered, and then evidence of who committed the crime. So those two are required to get the payment.
Okay. Do we get 25 if we do one of them?
No.
Alright. We're checking.
Would you agree?
Seems awful trusting of you to employ a bunch of strangers on the road to investigate this, and the barkeep insinuated it was an accident.
I am convinced that foul play is involved, and as you were not present at the time of the murder, I feel I can trust you far more than any of the other occupants of this inn.
You mean you suspect? Well, like the other crowd of people around the fireplace.
Excellent.
Dun
So-
dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So you'd see the barkeep would have, in this time, gone outside and essentially just ran your horses into the stable to make sure everything's okay, and come back in like shaking the water off herself and things like that.
Did we get the barkeep's name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did not introduce herself.
I'll sidle over and be like,
1 second.
very well.
So the barkeep will have headed back over to the fire to chat to people, get drinks, things like that.
She did it.
There is also an elderly man with a wild shock of white hair and unruly eyebrows, who sat in a corner. He's got a crow sat, or a raven sat on his shoulder as well, and he's just sort of wide-eyed and mumbling to the raven, sorry. Kara is stood with you guys. There's another human dressed in military garb as well, with brown hair, stood by the fire. There is a male half-elf sat at one of the tables close to the fire group, but he's not talking to anybody, with a very aloof expression and a mug of tea just sipping from it.
Okay.
And there is a older gentleman, a human, who is quite short, chubby, and lots of rings on his fingers, and he's sat by the fire fidgeting.
Ooh.
And like dabbing his hair, his forehead, as like he sweats profusely. So Kara would look at them all and say, we were all here at the time of the murder.
In this room. Or just in the inn.
In the inn.
I understand.
Why don't you talk us through the last you saw of your lieutenant and your experience of it?
Very well. Though perhaps I should introduce you to everyone first.
Sure.
Yes?
Yes?
By all means.
So you've met myself, Kara. You've met Inga.
Inga.
The innkeep.
Inga.
Inga the innkeep. The dwarven innkeep. Who, as you see walking around, limps slightly. And she is serving free drinks for everyone.
Good for morale.
Free
Yep.
drinks.
Love it.
So Kara would introduce you to everyone in a very matter of fact of just going round everybody. So the elderly man with the wild shock of white hair and unruly eyebrows is Enoch,
Okay.
and the raven on his shoulder is Crow.
I understand the earlier confusion.
The raven is called Crow.
Of course.
Copy that.
Who he is having a mumbled conversation with. The other guardsman is called John.
John, the human male guardsman.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
That's such a cunning disguise. for a murderer.
John. The half elf is called Kale.
Mm-hmm.
Kale.
Like the vegetable?
Cael.
Okay, darling is for cars. It's fine.
Okay.
Do not eat it, please. And the short and chubby merchant is called Hugo.
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 Okay, excellent.
And then Kara would tell you that the previous day, Kara, John, and Artemis arrived at the inn together. Artemis is in charge, Kara is second in command and now in charge, and John is one of the lackeys. One of their horses had thrown a shoe, so they decided to stay at the inn, and then during the next couple of nights while the storm passed. It was quite a bad storm. They didn't want to have any more issues with the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Load.
Do you have loading screen tips as a DM?
No. No, I
One of them's just like, such and such is the murderer.
Did you know this person murdered this person? I have to be very careful about how I say that because I might accidentally blurt the actual answer here.
That may shorten the stream
I'm
just
so
a
used-
little bit.
I'm so used to having like paper everything because I used to print everything off, but then I switched to just doing it all all my DMing digital to try and save paper in
You
terms
need
of...
multiple screens for that.
Yeah, and I have two. One of them's permanently locked to the room description, so I can just take through the rooms, and I'm just jumping from the beginning of the adventure to what everybody will tell you section, which are not right next to each other. So Kara would tell you that she went to bed after Artemis, but had quite a long day, so she just completely zonked out overnight. She heard nothing, so she has no idea what happened.
What time of day have we arrived here?
Yeah.
Sort of mid-afternoon. You've been travelling for about half a day. When the storm got really bad, and you knew you needed to pull in.
I'm Kara and the troops arrived here yesterday.
They arrived a couple of days ago.
Oh.
Okay, right.
They've been here for a couple of days.
And is Kara relating the events of last night in particular?
Last night in particular, yeah.
Had a long day, went to sleep after Artemis, and didn't hear it.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
And presumably woke up to deadness.
Yes, woke up, checked in with her commanding officer, and found him dead.
What time was that? Early? I assume?
Yes. I rise with the sun and do some simple tasks. We don't have a lot to do here presently, but I still clean my boots and things like that, and then went to go check in with my commander.
Fair enough.
If you're only staying to have your horse reshoed, why have you been here for so long?
We've been here for a few days. My commander went on a scouting mission in this time as well, and we then returned, and then the storm hit, so the storm was closing in, so we chose to stay further. The innkeeper's been very kind with her lodgings and things to allow us to stay for much longer.
I see. And you found your lieutenant dead in his room?
Yes.
In the inn. Were there any wounds on the body? Did you investigate?
I have not investigated fully, I suppose is the right term. I once I worked out that there was a murder, I gathered John and then tried to gather everybody else down here to make sure nobody slipped away.
Were you successful, or are we missing anybody?
Pardon?
Are we missing anybody, or did you get them all?
I got them all.
Okay, wonderful. It'd just be unfortunate if the murderer had left.
Yes, I gave you this adventure where the murderer just buggered off before you guys even got to start the adventure.
That would be an excellent gotcha. I'd still have a great time, I'm sure.
No, she would tell you that Artemis was found in his bed, very pale, as dead people tend to be.
Checks out.
Checks out,
Okay.
yeah. He does have a slash across his chest, she
Oh.
noticed, but it was bandaged and such.
So presumably from the wee scouting
Yes.
expedition.
She'd been told that he had been hurt on the scouting mission, but not precisely how.
Oh,
Okay.
wonder who bandaged him. Wonder if he did it himself or.
Who did he go with?
He went with John.
Just John.
Just
Just
John.
John. Yes,
Okay.
I was to hold down for him.
Hmm.
Do we want to question people first, or investigate the room / body / both?
Ooh. Or should we split up and search for clues, guys?
I mean, splitting the party is notoriously terrible, but I think it might just work for a murder mystery. Yeah, I'm an advocate for this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got everybody gathered here just now. Everybody says that they're happy to stay here until the evening when they will all just go to bed. But it is up to yourselves what you want to do, and if you want to split the party. I just need to know who's in what bit. So you have a numbering system on the map to tell you where you want to go.
Okay.
Hmm. What would you like to look at first? What would you like to look at first?
I have one thing, and it's. I think I can rationalize it because it's just what stats dictate I am as a person. When we came in, you described that Inga was rubbing her hands together and she had a bar thing going. What if she had blood on her hands and she was washing it up? So I just want to take a little mosey over there and just double check, make sure that there's no evidence that's been gotten rid of.
Okay, yeah, roll me an investigation check, please.
Very well. Okay.
First roll of the game. First roll of the game.
Natural 20.
Yes!
Natural 20!
Jesus Christ!
Natural 20!
Thank you, Rosie.
That is an excellent way to start this adventure, I suppose.
Ooh.
Did you do it?
So you
It's
find
an
Innkeep. This is her inn.
I do apologise.
So you find the rag that she was like nervously wringing between her
Yes.
fingers. There's no evidence of any blood on it, and taking a quick peek around the bar area as well, there doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary there
Okay.
in terms of blood, footprints, dead bodies, anything like that. Additional dead
It'd be
bodies.
really funny if there was one under there the whole time.
Legendary weapon behind the bar.
A barrel.
Anything at all?
So you would find something as you're peering around the bar. Where is that?
I love it.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Under the bar, so it's not like seen when you're stood in front of the bar as a customer would be stood. There is a heavy crossbow like slung under the bar,
Interesting.
and some bolts. But it looks quite dusty, and it looks like it hasn't been touched or moved for a long time.
What are you thinking?
I'm going to pinch the bolt.
Okay,
That's not what I thought you were thinking.
sure. Are you trying to do that like without anybody noticing, or?
I guess if I can get away with it, sure. But if I can't, then that's fine. I'll just say that I'm confiscating them because there's a literal murderer on the list. So yeah.
Okay. I mean that's fair. Yeah. So, if you want to try and do stealthily, I would ask you to roll a stealth roll or a sleight hand check.
Very well.
Whatever you prefer. But if you don't care if anybody sees them, you can just nick them, and I can tell. I will check if anybody sees them.
I'll do the stealth check because I like rolling dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
16.
16. Okay. Okay. So Cara and John are in-depth in conversation with everybody over there, and I don't think anybody else would be particularly watching you to try and see if whatever you're doing at the bar is weird. But you would see Crow would snap his head round and be like,
Ooh.
like, watching you.
You know what they call a group of crows?
A murder.
Oh.
We found our next suspect.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that bird has got good passives.
Indeed.
A smart bird.
Don't know what that means. We'll
It's
use
awakened.
it. Okay.
Good bird.
I think we should look at the body first, because if we know how the guy died, that could narrow it down.
Okay.
They might let us know who's lying to us if they tell something else. I like that.
Love it.
Okay.
I like that.
So Ingrid would tell you that she can give you the key to Artemis's room to let yourselves in and out of that as you please. And she can't give the key to anybody else's room because that's their private rooms.
Okay.
Understandable.
Not a problem for a party of rogues.
You just say
None
that
of us
confidently.
She's out loud and she's just like,
I mean.
That's what you get for trusting random strangers off of the street.
We sent someone ahead to kill this guy. It was
Yeah.
all quiet against the
We
ring.
just want to rob people.
And get free drinks.
And free
Which
Yeah.
I absolutely have got one of.
Oh yeah.
awesome. What would you like to drink?
Yeah. Or
There is a menu.
A mead.
So we have blackcurrant lemonade, mead, pale ale, red wine, apple brandy, or tea.
Ooh. I'm going to stick with my first answer.
Okay. Drink.
can I have the lemonade and watch her make it very carefully? Because I trust no one here.
Just us though, right?
Sure.
It's like horn of ale.
That was
A horn specifically.
Specifically a horn.
And then down it before you can investigate anything.
So she would go and grab those from the kitchen for you. So she would leave the room.
I
go and
follow
get a
her.
drink. Okay. So I think she would be a little bit like. Okay.
I'm not interfering. I'm just standing like in the doorway.
Okay, so you'd follow her round the back of the bar into this room here, which is the kitchen. It's a well-organised kitchen with ingredients in fine porcelain containers and little wooden lids. Everything's all labelled. Do you speak Dwarvish?
Yes.
Everything's labelled in Dwarvish because
Perfect.
she's a dwarf.
It's so funny, I also took Dwarvish.
Yeah, Alex told me to.
I did not.
You said take Dwarvish or Elvish.
I did, and then you chose
Good.
one.
I took Elvish.
Oh, nice.
We're
Okay.
sorted. We can talk to
covered.
all three of the races of people here.
And we speak bird.
And we also have our own secret language.
Yes.
We do. We all have thieves' can.
I'm
And also Goblin.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'm really sorry. I don't secret languages.
Yeah, everything in this room is labelled in Dwarvish, so it's fine for you. You can read everything. There's like a variety of herbs. It's very normal kitchen stuff.
Nothing that says poison.
Poison for Artemis. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Do you want to make me a nature check then, please?
Sure.
Some of the herbs and things.
Okay. That escaped.
No.
15, 16.
16. Also. So, some of the herbs and dried mushrooms that are hanging up in the room are very common in stews and for making teas and stuff like that. However, you would know that in large quantities of these herbs and mushrooms, they are quite poisonous.
Makes sense.
But
That's
they
the
are
case with
common.
most things.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, if you eat enough of something, you will probably die. Statistically, yes. She would be like Ingrid. Inga would be a little weirded out by you like following her around, but she wouldn't question it too much. There's been a murder. But she would then hand you the key to Artemis's room as well, which she keeps behind the bar.
And she didn't try to poison our drinks.
How would you know?
I'm watching her.
How would you know what she's putting in your drink is poisoned?
Lemons. Usually the primary ingredient is if there's something else in there, you'd get a bit more suspicious.
I assumed the drinks would be in a bottle and then she'd pour them. I was meaning more she just didn't add anything.
She just said again.
She's not obviously evil?
No,
Okay.
no, nothing out of the ordinary. There's like a jug that the lemonade is kept in at one side. The ale is in like a cask that she pours from. and I forgot what you asked for.
Mead.
Mead. The mead is kept in bottles on the shelves and things like that. So it looks normal. How much experience do you have with pulling pints in bars?
Minimal.
It looks all normal.
Is your character underage?
Yes.
Depends who you're asking. For humans, yes. For goblins, no.
Fair enough. Yeah, so she would hand you the key to the room and ask if you want her to go up with you or you want her to stay downstairs.
Does the two people want to go up and one of us stay down just to babysit these potential murderers?
I don't mind babysitting the perps. If y'all want to investigate.
The perps.
The perps. The suspects. The
Perhaps is
perpetrators.
Yeah.
My specialties lean more towards insight, so I can conversationally extract things from them.
Okay. Don't get murdered. We'll go check out the room.
Okay. Do you want the innkeep to come with you?
No.
No.
I'm leaning towards no.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. She would stay downstairs.
Any secret, compartments in the room that we should be checking out? You know,
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm just because I know some hotel rooms have got safety deposit boxes and things like that. So maybe your inn has got.
Well, there's a chest at the end of each bed for people to put their stuff in, but
That's not very secret.
it's not
No.
very secret.
Okay,
No.
fair enough. Thank you for all your help.
Thank you.
And the mead.
You're very welcome. Okay, so I think we'll go to the murder site first.
Which room is
Say that word
the
again.
murder?
Makes you think it was murder.
So, she would have given you directions to the murder room. And room number 8 is your murder
big
room.
one.
Yes,
That
the big
makes
one.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So, unlocking the door to this room. This is the finest and largest of the rooms at the inn. It's painted sage green with a
Oh,
golden
very
picture
nice.
of it. There's a large fireplace at one end of the room that should be marked on the map that is currently out. There's a desk to one side that's got papers scattered across it and 2 empty candlesticks are fitted onto the wall where the candles have obviously burnt down over some period of time. There is a still shape of a man that lies face down on the bed.
I think I found the body.
It's not him. On the bed. Everybody walks over and like, yeah, that's a body, and shut the door again.
What if he's just a really heavy sleeper?
Book him.
I believe Kara tried to
Okay.
she was he was alive, but yeah. So the body is lying face down on the bed, and there is no immediate signs of struggle or violence within the room. Nothing's overturned. Nothing's broken.
Investigate the body. How done he died.
How would you like to investigate the body? Are you gonna go up
What?
and just peer at it? Are you gonna
I'll
rifle
start
through?
with peering and then if peering does not give me any information, I'll move him and look for, I don't know, a stab wound or
Okay.
is he a weird colour?
What is your perception?
My perception? Passive?
Passive, yeah.
11.
11, okay. Can you roll me a perception check then, please?
What number is this? That's an 8.
An 8, okay. It's a body. It's a man. He's very pale.
He's definitely dead.
His skin is quite... the skin on the face that you can see, because one side of his face is smushed into the bed, but the other side of the face is upwards, is a horrible mix of black and blue, but... I don't know. It's black and blue. Bodies go black and blue, right?
Black and blue, from the blood pooling?
You don't know.
Well, that's not a perception thing, that's just a biology fact. When you have a dead body, the blood stops moving and then
True.
it just sinks and then you get bruising.
Yes, but that's a medicine check.
Okay.
You can know, you just don't currently.
Can I think really hard about what medicine I know?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Do you have medicine?
I have
Are you
I have a
proficient?
wisdom score, not proficient.
Okay, roll for me then, please.
Oh, that's better. 15.
Oh, 15. That's pretty good, yeah. So you can tell by having a bit of a closer look at the discoloration, and also potentially like turning him over and having a look at him rather
I'm very
than
strong, so I've just like picked him up and I'm like
Good, I'm
pivoting him.
not.
pop it him.
Turn him
Yeah,
upside
please.
down, shake him, see what falls out.
See what falls out. Well, in his pockets, there's a little leather bag.
This is why we're here.
And that will fall out of his pockets if you shake him.
Excellent! Thank God the barkeep didn't come. This is really disrespectful.
I'm downstairs telling everybody my colleagues work with the utmost discretion and respect.
With that medicine check, you would be able to tell that the victim did die from an unnatural death. It's quite difficult to tell whether he was strangled or poisoned based on but the discoloration on his face would indicate one of the two.
Okay.
Suffocation.
You can also see this cut that Cara mentioned across his rib cage. It has been bandaged and sort of peeling the bandage back to be like, I need to look at this. The wound is quite fresh, but it has started to heal, which would indicate to you that it wasn't the cause of death, and it happened a little bit before death.
Cool.
And with that medicine check, I think you could tell that it might have come from something like an arrow, like a projectile, as opposed to like a sword slash.
Crossbow.
A dusty
A
crossbow.
dusty crossbow that
Dusty
hasn't been
crossbow.
used in many a moon.
Oh my!
My case against Crow is stronger.
With all those posable thumbs he has.
Could be a
It's like shoots really fast, just flies and like his little beak.
Slice!
Yeah.
flyby slash.
Feathers hurt when they go at a high enough speed. I'm
There
being
you
told.
go. See?
So I think that would take you like a good 10-15 minutes to like pick up the body, shake the body, gently turn over the body to find injuries and things like that. I think that would take you a little bit to figure that one out. So I will jump back across to
Blick.
Blick. Why did you all name your things with the same first letter?
We all started with Boblin the Goblin and then took like 2 steps.
I stole my name from a book I'm reading.
Blick. What do you want to be doing for a short period of time?
I would be. I thank Inga for the hospitality and the hornbill.
You're very welcome. I just don't want this to like put a bad image on my inn. I need people to still come and stay, you know. I don't want it to be bad for business.
Of course. Do you get a lot of business from military folk passing through?
A fair bit. This is the main road through. Through to Winterhold. So that when they pass through as scouting teams, they often stop if they need a place to stop for the night.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Well, if you could remain handy and keep an eye on the others for me, I'm going to start taking the others off one by one to ask them about their version of events, and if you could keep an eye on the rest of them for me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Great. Thank you very much. I'll move into the main body of the room.
Yep.
Ask not Lieutenant, Soldier
John.
Cara.
Ooh.
Soldier Cara.
Yeah.
If I can interview her subordinate.
John.
John. Yes, John.
Yep, she says you're more than welcome to. That they have nothing to hide, so...
Grand. I will grab John,
Okay.
move across the little table on the side. Assume a very kind of like relaxed pose, like leaning back in a chair. Nice. Little dead body in the room.
Yes.
So dead.
Okay.
What's my read on John? From like his body language. Is he looking tense? Is he looking guilty?
He looks guilty, of course he looks guilty.
He looks like just murdered a guy.
Did he just look... He's got blood on his hands.
Did he just kill his boss's boss and now he's a little bit conflicted about it?
His grand boss.
It's grand, he looks like... what's the right term? It's not agitated because it's not that high, but he's not relaxed either. He's a
Tense?
Yeah, he's a bit on edge.
Yeah.
He's aware that there's a murderer in the midst, and his commanding officer just got murdered. It's not beyond the realms of reason that he's on that list somewhere, if there is a list.
Is he carrying any weapons?
Yes, he has a short sword at his waist, as does Kara.
Okay. I'd sit him down. I'd ask him if he has a drink.
Just a lemonade.
Well, I started getting one from Inga, and when he's nervously sipping, I'll ask him about the scouting mission that he went on with his lieutenant yesterday. What happened out there? Huh? The wound got mentioned while we were all downstairs, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Kara mentioned it.
Kara mentioned
all
the
three
wound.
of you, yes.
Yeah.
So all three of you are aware that he was wounded. Yes.
Yeah.
Artemis was wounded.
And it was out on. He didn't have the wound before he left on the scouting mission. Kara thinks.
Yeah, Kara thinks that. And are you asking John that?
I'll be asking John if he got that wound while he was out there with him. Yeah. If he's able to tell me how it happened.
He did, yes. We came across some bandits in the woods. And we're going to report them to the captain in Winterhold. So that we can bring a larger force out and deal with the bandits in the woods.
I see. And your lieutenant's wound. Did that happen out here as well?
Yes. One of the bandits spotted us during the scouting mission and fired a shot at us, and it scraped across the lieutenant's chest.
I see. But you managed to escape.
Yes. Yes, we were quite far away at the time, so it wasn't hard to escape on the horses.
And you weren't pursued?
No.
Okay. Is he lying? Is this guy lying to me?
Roll me an insight check.
Copy that. I can't roll below an 8.
Okay.
So that is going to be a 14.
Why 8?
Inquisitive rogue thing. If you get 7 or lower on an insight check, counts
It
as
was
an
a
8.
4, by the way.
It was a 4, by the way.
Magnificent.
So 14?
14.
14. Okay. So John seems a bit on edge. He hasn't been... he's left a lot of details out that to you would seem a bit strange. However, because he's in the military, he might be doing that because it might be confidential. It might be that there's a lot of reasons why there's missing details in this particular scenario, but you would sense that there's maybe a few too many details missing about that story. It was a bit too simple start to finish.
Yeah. Okay. And what happened last night when everybody went to bed? Did you hear any noise coming from your lieutenant's room?
So he and I were in his room, writing up a report about the bandits, until fairly late in the evening before I retired to my own room. I believe after I went to bed after most others had also gone to bed. However, the lieutenant seemed fine when I left for my own room. He seemed tired, but we'd been writing the report for some length of time and out scouting all day, so...
Were you the one that helped him bandage his wound?
I did, yes.
Okay. And you didn't hear anything during the night?
No, I don't believe so.
Cool. Has he got any...
Let me check my passive perception to see if I heard
Let me
anything.
check my nose just to see.
My nose.
Your nose.
Nice. Has he got anything like suspicious about his clothes? Like, does his short sword, for example, look recently cleaned, as in he might have wiped the blood off it, for example?
And not just normal weapon upkeep.
So it is currently in a sheath,
Oh.
so it's not very easy to see the blade itself. But like most of his gear is in very good condition. You can see that both him and Kara maintain their equipment quite well, and it wouldn't be out with the realms of understanding that because they've been in an inn for a few days and not been hellbent travelling or actually fighting or scouting the whole time, they've had a lot more time to patch up in holes in clothing, stuff like that. So everything that's looking pretty clean and pretty well maintained at this point in time.
Okay. Cool. And when he talks about his lieutenant, am I getting the vibe that he was kind of just... It was just his boss, it was just a professional relationship? There's no simmering anger under the surface there?
I was thinking secret lovers.
Literally. They spent a lot of time in that room.
Ooh, yeah.
Those
Late
long
night.
romantic.
It was just a weekend getaway.
Yeah.
No walks in the wood where one of them happens to get shot. What were they doing? Scouting missions.
Scouting
That was
bandits,
it.
yeah.
Weekend getaway.
Yeah.
And then bandits. Usual.
Based on what he's told you at this point in time, he hasn't mentioned much of a relationship between him and Artemis, professional or otherwise, so I think it's quite difficult for you to determine. He focused more on the details of the mission, because you haven't really asked him about Artemis yet. So if you want to pursue that line of inquiry, I think that would give you a better read on how he feels about his lieutenant.
That's lovely. You got it.
Alright, yeah. Final question. What was your relationship like with the lieutenant?
I respected him. He was a good man. And he liked me. We got on well, which is why he took me on the scouting mission.
Okay.
Yes.
He's not like welling up at the thought of having lost his lover at this point.
There are no tears cascading down his face. He's not getting. Oh.
He's not putting on a brave face in the face of adversity.
He looks quite pragmatic about it. There's not a huge amount of emotion going across his face.
I respect that.
Respect lack of emotion. Yeah, sure.
It's his manager, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's his manager's manager, essentially. Yeah.
Even that, yeah.
Yeah. And what was that? It was 14 on the roll.
My last insight roll. Yeah.
Yeah. Applying that to that. It seems truthful. He did seem to have a fairly good professional relationship with his lieutenant.
Cool. Okay.
Awesome. I think I will jump back to the two of you at this point. Shaking the body.
Some stuff fell out.
What's the dead guy is like?
He's a dead guy.
What's the dead guy?
What's his like build? Just if he was maybe suffocated, someone has to be strong enough to like.
Oh, okay. So he is quite physically fit. It's obvious that all three of them, Kara, Artemis, and John, they're all quite physically fit. To be guards, they have to do a lot of riding, a lot of running, fighting, that kind of stuff. So they all have to have that kind of level of physique. He's not a small man. Like he's of average human height and build. So I wouldn't have said it would be particularly easy to pin him down and kill him. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pick up the stuff that
Okay. Well,
The thing
but
that
I'll pick up the stuff
and I just
while you're shaking it.
throw
Don't
him on the
fling
bed.
it.
Oh my god, you throw him on the bed. Ragdoll him.
Listen.
Ah, yes, great. Utmost respect for the dead.
Okay, I took him in.
Oh.
There you go.
Would you like to investigate the things that fell out since you were the one shaking his?
Certainly.
Small leather bag.
You said there was a wee note or
Small leather bag.
a small other bag.
Leather bag.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I
So
dig into that.
digging into it, it's his coin purse.
Perfect.
Okay, we've been paid, we can stop there.
He found his coin purse that contained 17 gold pieces, 3
Yeah.
silver pieces, and 1 copper piece.
Not quite as much as 150.
But,
Well, drinks are on me. Well, actually,
no, they're all ingot.
they're on ingot tonight, yeah. Sweet. Okay. That's it from the bag, though. Nothing else in his pockets.
No.
I guess let's go investigate a secret chest chest.
I was thinking the paperwork, but also the chest.
Wait, there was paperwork?
It's a desk, yeah.
There was a desk with paper strewn over
Okay,
it.
right. Yeah.
We found how he died, and now we want why he died.
Yes, that seems to be on the murder checklist.
Yes. There were two things.
The murder checklist.
Does this count as finding proof that he was dead?
I think so.
Proof that he was murdered, even we know he's dead.
But again,
Yeah, we know he's dead.
we're not getting 25 gold for that.
No, but like it's half the checklist.
Yeah. If we can pin it down to like poison or
the other
Yeah.
one, strangulation.
Vaguely, poison or strangulation isn't particularly.
Specifically strangulation, not suffocation.
It says in my notes specifically strangulation.
Okay.
I don't know enough about either of those things to
Well,
know what
if
kind of
somebody
a
strangled, it'll leave bruises.
It would, yeah. That's interesting.
How's his
Well-
neck?
There are no marks on his neck.
interesting. So I guess it was
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know enough about strangulation,
Fair
suffocation,
enough,
and
fair
poisoning to know what.
Neither of us are proficient
Sorry.
in medicine, so neither
No.
do we. It's
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Moving over to the desk.
To the desk.
It's a murder mystery, and none of you took medicine.
No.
I literally didn't think of it until the second.
It's very
No,
good
but he did.
investigation.
Yeah, no, you need to work out how they died.
No.
Haha.
Yeah.
Well,
Did not consider it for a second.
hmm.
It's not a bad modifier, but it's not proficiency.
I'm proficiency in acrobatics. Is that
Ah, yes, back flipping over the body will tell you much about it.
thought so?
So moving over to the desk then. Yeah.
Yeah.
To look at some of the papers and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so there's quite a few candles that are like slammed down on the desk for obviously working into the night when the actual light of the sun would have no longer filtered into the room.
Mm-hmm.
There's also quite a nice elegant letter opener, some quills, a jar of ink,
Hmm.
and a pile of shavings from one of the quills from where they've obviously been sharpening the quill so they can write with it. You'd also find on the top of the desk there is a report. The handwriting is initially quite neat, just like vaguely flicking through the report, but it gets less and less neat towards the end of the text, until it's just like scrolling as somebody's just sort of going, we must
Don't
get it
care
down."
anymore.
Yeah. It's quite hard to tell whether this was because the person was just tired
Or poison.
or poisoned.
Or drunk.
Or drunk, yes.
Yeah.
The report is written in common and it is unfinished. And flicking through it, you can see a lot of it pertains to a scouting mission of some kind.
That makes sense. And Artemis's handwriting?
How would you know?
I mean, I'm just matching
it
up
all
with
the same
everything else on the
handwriting?
desk.
It's all in the same handwriting.
Okay.
There's no other reports
I
on
would
the desk.
lean toward that being the case then.
You don't have samples of the victim's handwriting on your
We've
person
not
before
found
you
his
arrive.
personal diary.
No, you have not. There are
Not
no
been a
other
chest.
bits of handwriting included in the report or any other samples of handwriting on the desk.
Interesting. That'll be when we get your side of the story. It might be interesting.
Okay.
Hmm.
Sweet.
Elsewhere in the room, you've got the bedside table and the small chest.
Look in the
At
chest.
foot of it.
Chest.
Chest.
Yes.
Chest. So it is obviously where Artemis has been storing most of his clothes and personal belongings while he's been staying in the inn. So there's piles of neat and tidy, organised clothes, very neat and tidy, militarised. And there's also a small pile of dirty laundry on one side, which is and there is a pile of like personal items like a shaving kit and a mirror and a whetstone.
No diary.
Do you want to have a rifle through?
Yeah, I take the one of the crossbow bolts and I just kind of like flick the dirty laundry and move everything else around. And just in case, you never know, it'd be really good hiding places to put it under.
Can you roll me an investigation check, please?
Certainly. What is my modifier?
I'm assuming the bedroom has a window.
It does, yes. Would you like to have a look at it?
Yes, once.
I see nothing!
I'm gonna look in the chest after.
I flick a pair of like soiled pants. They land land on.
You imagine maybe a sock gets attached to the end of one of your bolts and you're like waggling it trying to get it off, and it's really smelly because it's obviously been out in the rain or in the scouting mission. It smells like horse and mud and wet. It's horrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
Your poor nose is assaulted.
Unless does a 5 give me anything?
Natural 1, no. You wanted to have a look at the window before you get a pair of underpants thrown at you?
Yes.
Okay. What are you?
Does the window lock? And just
good question.
because they either had to come in through the door or in through the window. So either we're looking for somebody that had access to the key, or we're looking to see if it's been claimed.
Or down the fireplace.
Can you roll me a
Or the
perception or an
fireplace.
investigation check?
I was thinking like a bugbear. Down the chimney.
Here
I'll
we go.
be crawling up there in just a second. Don't you worry.
Are you doing investigation or perception? Sorry.
Investigation, and that is 13.
13. Okay. So you'd be able to tell that the window is slightly ajar. There is no. There is a locking mechanism, but it is not currently locked.
Since it's been raining so much, there will not be footprints or anything.
There does not appear to be, even looking
Is there
at the window ledge, there's no lovely little
Is there convenient mud up the side of the building where somebody's been climbing?
Do you want to stick your head out and look down?
Sure. Well, I'm here.
Well, you're here, yes. Where is that?
No, I got bored halfway through investigating a room and decided to leave.
Just dive out the window.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you get on your investigation?
13.
13. So peering your head out the window, the wind and the rain is lashing against the side of the building, and you do get very wet from sticking your head out the window.
The sign circles back.
The sign, then the underwear.
Oh no!
The wagon.
No, that got taken inside. That should be again. The flower beds, on the other hand.
Oh
no! Because I feel like the adverse weather, it's quite difficult to tell whether or not anyone has climbed up the outside, because there is just sort of sheet rain hitting the side of the building. There are vines and a growing plant going up the outside, so it's not infeasible somebody could have climbed up there, but there's nothing that would indicate that somebody recently had.
Cool.
And there's no footprint.
No footprint, no obviously smushed plants.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was here. No, nothing obvious. No, it's not out of the realms of possibility, but there's no indication to you that has occurred.
Okie dokie.
It is a little weird that maybe the window was ajar on such a stormy night, but you don't know if that was opened in the morning or anything like that. So to let out the smell of the dead body.
What?
And the laundry.
And the laundry. No, that was contained in the chest. We're okay. And then a pair of underpants hits your head.
Lovely.
I'm so
I take
sorry.
the dodge action.
No!
Nice.
And they go out the window.
Sure, there's no love lost there.
Well, I mean, if there was, he's dead, so,
You don't know. Cara or John, his very pragmatic lover, may have wanted his dirty underpants later.
Do you want to check the fireplace?
Yeah.
Did you want to have a little look in the chest as well?
Oh, yeah.
It's horribly. I've gotten rid of all of the dirty laundry. It's just
Fling!
sprawling across the entire.
Investigation check, please.
Oh, that's much better.
Thank you.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. That sounds fantastic.
Unnatural. It's a 14 plus 6.
Right.
So as Blick, Bibble, Blick, Bibble, and
Brill.
Blick, Bibble, and Brill.
And our
I sound like a sponge.
Like a Brillo pad.
Yes, I didn't think of that before.
Blick, Bibble, and Brill. As Bibble.
you're doing great.
As Bibble is flicking stuff across the room, you see one of the articles of clothing as it arcs towards the window and going out of the window. You can see it's a shirt and it's got a blood stain across it. So you reach
I
out,
catch it.
snatch it out of the air before it goes
That's what the
flying.
acrobatics are for.
Yeah! The excellent acrobatic scores for catching dirty clothing. And you snatch a shirt as it flies across the room. You also, with that investigation check, would notice that as Bibble is rummaging through the chest and sort of spreading stuff about, there's a clink of glass as something hits the floor and rolls under the bed.
I'm just making a mess.
And all the while you're
Really
like, clothing, underwear, clothing, underwear.
First off, I'm like, let's hold it up.
One of the nice clean shirts, yeah, it's got like the crest of the Winterhold guards on it, and you're like, I could be a guard.
Pop it into a pocket.
I'll go look for the glass thing.
Okay. It's quite easy to find, like, you just saw it roll under the bed, so just hoofing it under the bed and just under the bed, you pull out
Under the
this...
bed. I could probably fit under the bed.
You can go for a wiggle under the bed if you want and just
Sure.
be gone.
Goodbye.
Good luck.
I found the secret floorboard with all the answers to the murder.
Ah, that's where I hid all the answers.
Alright.
I'm afraid not. However, you do get a small glass vial that is empty, and it is labelled in common as Potion of Healing.
Oh dear.
Well, I mean, you got stabbed, it makes sense. Or shot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know, my brain did something, but it's messy, so I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went out, he got shot by a crossbow, he was injured, he drank the healing potion.
The healing potion.
It says it around the bottle.
Yeah, it says it on the bottle. Oh, God.
Potion of Healing.
You're absolutely right. Why am I doing this? Never mind.
Cool. I'll climb out and inspect the vial further. I don't have medicine, I do have alchemist supplies.
Ooh, that's good. See?
Okay, so the
Get out your Bunsen burner. Start doing experiments in the bedroom.
Yes.
Under the bed.
whoosh goes the bed.
Well ventilated.
You did say you wanted to set the place on fire if you didn't find it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's perfect. I just got what you said.
Yes, no.
It's Strathclyde Uni.
That was a bad day.
I can't believe I just missed that. I did not hear about it until last week.
The Great Fire of Glasgow. Even. Okay, so there's no liquid left in the vial. So what are you trying to do with the vial?
Lick it.
Do you want to lick it?
I kind of want to lick it.
You got a lot of hit points. You'll be alright.
I do have.
You'll be alright.
I've got so many hit points.
Okay.
I'll lick it. I've
Okay.
got 37.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you stick your tongue in the vial and go round the vial.
Goblin.
Perfect for the recording.
Can go on social media later, yeah. So there is nothing left in it, unfortunately. So not only has it been drunk dry, it has also then sat in like a chest with like cloth in it. So anything that was left has probably been absorbed by anything else that was in the chest. With your alchemy skills, it looks like a vial of like a potion of healing. Like that is how you get potions of healing. They look like that, but there is no liquid left in it to be like, let me put this in my magic findo thing that says, yes, this is poison. Yes, this is a potion of healing kind of thing. There's nothing left to do an experiment with, as it were. Just, yes, this is a glass vial. This looks like healing potions I've seen before.
Okay. We have a shirt, we have a fireplace.
Brill, where did you go? Brill! Oh god! The murder got here!
Clothing! Oh my god, my friend! And at that point, I think I will swing back to Blake.